Good morning and welcome to another Daily Hope. My name is Neel. I'm a hospice chaplain as well as one of the drummers on the worship team here at North Coast Calvary. It's good to be with you all once again as we dive into God's Word. Today we're looking at Hebrews 6, which is, it comes, right, I think smack dab in the middle of Hebrews. Just about chapter 6 or 13 chapters. And its main focus, so the lens of Hebrews is a letter to the Jewish Christians who still hold a lot of Jewish tenets. So they're working on their Christian identity, but there's a lot of pull also coming at them from their Jewish heritage. That worked for them for a while, but may not be working as well anymore. But nonetheless, what the author of Hebrews is seeing is a group of faithful followers of Christ who are reverting back to old ways at times. And so this is where that's kind of the context of what we're thrown into here in chapter 6. Some really strong language about not turning back toward old ways, but pressing on for God's glory. So what the author is getting at here is not falling into comfortable ways of living out our faith, but always pressing forward just a little more. So think of working out or any sort of even a brain activity when we feel like we're at the end, we can't go on anymore. What God and this author calls us to is to push forward that one extra step. It says here, we desperately want each of you to show the same effort to make your hope sure until the end. This is so you won't be lazy, but follow the example of the ones who inherit the promises through faith and patience. Through faith and patience, if we just keep pushing forward, we're going to get a greater sense of that glory. And I think the world is going to see the gifts of Jesus through us if we're constantly pushing toward that glory. I talk a lot about how faith is this. Oftentimes, faith can be summed up in the ABCs, the kind of rudimentary stuff we learn as children, and there is so much good there. But at some point, we're called to be, to go on toward maturity. We're called to move on beyond that kind of rudimentary, those rudimentary elements of Christianity, and moving on toward something that allows the Spirit to work through us even more. It's a risk, and it's a risk that is scary at times, but I think that's what faith is. That's what living and walking with Christ is walking in this faith even when it's scary. And why do we walk into scary times? Well, because God gave us a pledge that God won't abandon us. And how do we know that God won't abandon us? Because of the sacrifice of Jesus. That's what it says here in the latter half of chapter 6. This hope, which is a safe and secure anchor for our whole being, enters the sanctuary behind the curtain. That's where Jesus went, so on and so forth. Jesus is our anchor, a safe and secure anchor in our time of need. We're not called to be stagnant, faithful followers of Christ, but we're called to move on. When we think we can't, we can with God, with the Spirit pushing us, with Christ encouraging us at all times. What a hope that is. I invite you to read this throughout the day, pray upon it, and see where God is guiding you, guiding me. Where are we called as faithful followers of Christ to go one step further, to really show our faith and live it out well? God bless you.